Now, for years, Iran lived under crushing sanctions. Its economy struggled, its currency suffered, its businesses faced restrictions, and its access to the international market, it became increasingly limited. Now, imagine waking up one morning and learning that some of Europe's most powerful countries are preparing to lift those sanctions. That is exactly what reports suggest may happen. Germany, France, Italy, and the United Kingdom, four major European powers, all reportedly preparing to move towards sanction relief following the peace agreement. For Iran here, this could be one of the biggest diplomatic victories in years. Why? Because sanctions are not just political tools. They affect real lives. They affect jobs, they affect investment, trade, economic growth, and international confidence. If sanctions are lifted, Iran could gain greater access to global markets here. Foreign businesses may return, investors may return, trade relationship may expand, and billions of dollars could begin flowing through the economy again. Here, supporters of the agreement, they say this is exactly the point. They argue that economic integration creates stability, that countries with stronger trade ties are less likely to return to conflict. But critics remain skeptical here. They say sanctions should only be removed if Iran fully complies with its own commitments. And they also warn that verification will be very, very critical. Well, that is why the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, will likely play such an important role moving forward. Because trust alone, that's not enough. Verification matters, transparency matters, accountability matters. The world is now watching to see whether Iran follows through on its promises or not. But if it does not, because if it does, this could become one of the most significant diplomatic transformation of the decade. But just when peace seemed within reach, something happened in one of the world's most dangerous waterways. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel's National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, he has responded to the proposed U.S Iran agreement, and let me tell you, it is not good. His message was blunt, it was direct and impossible to ignore. Israel is not obligated to follow any agreement that it believes threatens its own security. Can you think about what that really means? The US may be celebrating peace. Iran may be celebrating sanction relief. European leaders may be celebrating diplomacy, but Israel is definitely signaling something very different. It is signaling caution, suspicion, and perhaps even resistance. Well, Ben-Gvir argued that Israel is an independent nation, a sovereign state, not a subordinate of Washington here, and therefore any deal that does not guarantee Israel's safety is a deal Israel may refuse to honor. The statement, it has created shockwaves across diplomatic circles, because peace agreements only work when the key planners or the players, they support them. If one major actor refuses to cooperate, the entire framework, that becomes vulnerable. And Israel has reasons for concern here. For years, Israeli leaders, they have viewed Iran's regional influence as one of their biggest security threats. Many fear that lifting sanctions, it could strengthen Tehran economically and politically. Others worry that today's peace, it could become tomorrow's problem. Result, a growing divide between Washington's diplomatic ambition and Israel's security calculation. And that particular divide, it could become one of the biggest obstacles to the long-term peace.